So, the general mood regarding Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is extremely low right now, and I totally get it. Rocksteady made 3 of the most definitive superhero games of all time, and it's not even close. So after nearly a decade spent creating their next game, it's a trashy looking live service grindfest that does not instill confidence. But I'd like to add a little bit more anticipation to the title by yet again speculating about a future game release in a prediction that is sure to piss off a lot of people and be completely wrong at the same time. Now, when we look at Suicide Squad, we all think that this is DC's version of the Avengers. But what if I said it looked like DC's version of Borderlands, specifically with its weapons? I mean, yes, both Borderlands and Suicide Squad have a carefree tone with too many comic reliefs, but the difference between Avengers and Suicide Squad is the focus on guns. In Marvel's Avengers, you just ground new gear so you could punch things harder, but in Suicide Squad, your reward appears to be weapons. If they're really stupid, then every character will only be able to equip specific types of guns and not mix and match. But as bad as Suicide Squad looks, it can't be that bad. The exciting part of having a deep weapon pool is that you have one of the deepest mythologies of all time to base them off. There are dozens of iconic weapons that could be equipable in a Suicide Squad game. Now, would it completely break canon to pull out some iconic characters' guns? Absolutely, but you're making a live service game, so if you want me to grind for hours, you better give me some fantastic rewards. You may think I'm crazy, but Rocksteady has already revealed some silly fan service weapons. For example, Captain Boomerang uses something called a Speed Force Boomerang, something that has never existed in the DCU before. So if the door has been swung open for non-canon overpowered weapons, what better direction to take them in than adding an arsenal of iconic weaponry from the comics? Also, instead of adding more and more characters to the Suicide Squad like Deathstroke, wouldn't it just be easier to emulate the potential character's playstyle? Firstly is the most obvious ones, Firefly's flamethrower and Mr. Freeze's ice ray. While these are nothing new to the shooter genre, this aerial focus Suicide Squad has could make sprayer-type weapons incredibly fun to use. Having flame and frost fall on enemies from above as you jetpack and zipline over vast distances is one of the few shooter experiences not yet filled in video games. Although I said before that characters shouldn't have exclusive weapons, I meant that to an extent. It would obviously be weird if Harley was using boomerangs and Deadshot was using a bat. But we haven't seen any kind of weapons exclusive to King Shark. Well, since he's an up-close and personal tank character, might I suggest Venom, using the drug to gain a temporary infinite health pool and increase strength for do-or-die moments? We haven't seen much in the way of grenades, and I think some Scarecrow fear toxin and/or Joker laughing gas would be great instead of flashbangs. Those are all the basic ideas I had. The rest are a little fanfiction-ish, and should all be legendary or even mythic unlocks. And I know what I'm about to say sounds silly, but the game is called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't think anyone here is taking themselves too seriously. Firstly, Green Arrow's crossbow filled to the brim with trick arrows for every scenario, maybe pressing L1 to pull up a weapon wheel for all the possible options. Secondly, not enough games have used the portal gun in an effective way except for Splitgate. Luckily, DC has its own version of the portal gun with Cyborg's arm cannon. We could use the boom tube to knock enemies around and create new opportunities for teammates. If they want to go really wacky, then Atom's ray gun would be perfect to shrink opponents or even embiggen allies for a short time to add a reduced damage buff. Next up, I'm sure this was initially planned to get out as some corporate synergy, as Suicide Squad is meant to come out in May, so they could tie in with Blue Beetle by giving us the Scarab as a weapon to use, once again having its own weapon wheel to swap between the myriad of different guns offered under that umbrella. But of course, you can't have the Scarab without their mortal enemies, the Lantern Rings. Red for King Shark, orange for Boomerang, yellow for Deadshot, and pink for Harley. The ludicrous amount of fun that could be had with this idea is limitless, and the amount of character that could be conveyed by literally projecting the character's imagination would be tremendous. Do I genuinely think Suicide Squad will be this fun? No, I don't imagine any of my ideas will make it in. Although I'm confident this game will be a failure, I hope it doesn't mean the end for Rocksteady.